Hello everyone, Lytro Storm here, and today I'm back with part 4 of What If Chi-Chi Was a Saiyan. If you aren't caught up with parts 1 through 3, the series is linked in the description and comments, so check them out before you watch this one. But, to briefly recap the last part, Chi-Chi and Goku both went Super Saiyan against Frieza. Because of the two's combined power, they easily killed him, and afterward they returned to Earth and continued training, with Gohan joining in from time to time. When Trunks warned everyone of the androids, they all trained as in canon, leading to a much stronger group. And Gohan got cocky while beating up Cell. He thought about letting him absorb 18, but Chi-Chi charged in and ended him right there before he could make a decision. This made Goku a bit disappointed since he wanted Gohan to take up the mantle, and Gohan was angry as well, but he held it in. After that, Goku traveled to New Namek to get Dende and trained in the time chamber with Vegeta when he returned, and that's about where we left off aside from Goten being born after Cell was defeated. So in this video we're going to cover the Buu saga and maybe even more, but if you do enjoy this part and like the series so far, don't be afraid to like and subscribe as it supports me and the channel and helps let me know that you guys want to see the series continue. And as always, be sure to join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. Links in the description. So, Goku and Chi-Chi would both be training during the 7-year time skip while also taking care of their new son. Gohan would also be training, but less so. As I've said in previous parts, he was still attending school because Chi-Chi, while okay with him training, wants him to be smart as well. This doesn't sit right with Gohan as he wants to take over and lead the next generation of fighters. He knows that's what his father wants, but he can't ever surpass him if he's only half training. He's slightly stronger than his mother at this point, but neither of them are as strong as Goku. Because Gohan is mainly just trying to rush through school and, he's spending all of his extra time trying to train to prove himself, this leads to the Great Saiyaman thing never happening. He does still meet Videl, but basically shuns her. He's got no time for her whatsoever. So after the full 7 years have passed, the gang would participate in the next Budokai. Goten is going to easily slap Trunks in the junior division since he had been training with his mother, father, and brother for the longest time. The real tournament would then take place, but Spopovich and Yamu would interrupt, and after that, the squad leaves for Babidi's base, and Dabura attacks Kibito. But luckily, Gohan was on his guard and instantly charged in to catch his hand and slam him into the ground. Dabura then escaped into the lair, and now our gang is gonna fight Babidi's men. It would be Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan like in canon, and first Vegeta would kill Pui Pui, then Goku kills Yakon, and now it's Gohan versus Dabura. But this fight is going to be pretty much overkill. Gohan would easily handle this guy with barely any powering up whatsoever. I mean, Dabura was barely managing to fight with a weaker Gohan in canon, but this one is way stronger. Chi-Chi would tell him to end the fight, but Gohan refuses. He smiles and says that he wants to fight that Buu guy. Dabura would then smirk at this, and Babidi realizes that this Saiyan might be of use. Vegeta had become much more docile after 7 years of battling Goku, so Gohan is Babidi's only hope at resurrecting Buu at this point. And so the sorcerer taps into the hidden evil and anger Gohan had within himself, and this gives us Majin Gohan. At this point, Goku and Chi-Chi would say that they're disappointed and would try to reason with their son, but it fails. The squad is then teleported by Babidi to a wasteland. Babidi doesn't think that Gohan would kill random civilians, as he was barely able to get any evil out of him at all. Gohan remarks that Chi-Chi was always holding him back from his true power. He should have been the one to defeat Cell. He should have been training his whole life instead of only doing it in his free time. He wanted to protect Earth and surpass his father like he himself wanted. But she stopped him from doing that, and now he's got to show them all that he can. The only way to do that is by bringing back and killing Majin Buu. That way, he proves his strength as a defender of Earth. He can take on any challenge. Goku tries reasoning with his son, saying that this isn't the way, while Chi-Chi tells her son that she just wanted what was best. Gohan asked his parents to fight him, as that was the only way to bring Buu back. Chi-Chi and Goku both transformed into Super Saiyan 2s, however, both of the Kais, Shin and Kibito would stand in front of them. They can't fight him, they can't release Majin Buu. Of course, our couple disagrees, and so they would both aim their hands toward the two Kais and force them to step aside. Vegeta told the two to come with him to stop Babidi, as this was a family matter between Saiyans. The two then left with Vegeta, and they flew toward Babidi and Tabora. At that point, Goku and Chi-Chi would proceed to fight against their son, but would be getting slammed pretty badly. Goku originally had been training in Otherworld, which allowed him to stay even farther ahead of Vegeta so that he needed the Majin Boost to catch up. But here, Goku trained on Earth with Chi-Chi and sometimes Gohan. So at this point, Gohan with such a boost would outscale Goku and Chi-Chi even more so. This forces the two to work together, but Gohan is still going to be beating them pretty easily. They really did not have a chance against Gohan, and he would be inclined to not hold back to let them do good hits. This leads to Goku ending up on the ground with Chi-Chi telling him to stay down. She's got a plan to deal with this. Chi-Chi tells Gohan that she's been holding back a power for a while. She then begins powering up, and a red aura surrounds her typical Super Saiyan glow. As her anger swells, so does her power, and this allows her to use the Blazing Aura technique with Super Saiyan 2. It's stated in Super that Goku was only able to combine the Kaioken with Blue, because Blue had a calm feeling and good ki control, and because it was really strong. This is why he couldn't combine any of his regular forms with Kaioken except in the Pikkon filler. But if you remember correctly, I stated that this derivative of the Kaioken didn't have any sort of crippling drawbacks. So she would be able to use this power in tandem with Super Saiyan 2 for short periods of time. This allows her to deal a few heavy blows onto Gohan, which would surprise him considering how easy the fight was prior. And while this did allow her to gain the edge for a short period of time, it also left enough power for Majin Buu's revival. Vegeta had been able to kill Tabora easily, but couldn't destroy Buu's egg in time, and now Buu makes his return. He turns Kibito into a cookie and eats him, since Kibito is alive and Tabora isn't, which is a role reversal from the original story. And Buu then makes quick work of Supreme Kai and Vegeta. The two drop onto the ground and are presumed dead by everybody else. Buu then heals Babidi from his injury, and the two head toward the current battle. By that point, Goku and Chi-Chi are both spent. They know they've got no chance, and so they both rest on the ground in base form. It's at that time that Krillin, Piccolo, Goten, and Trunks arrive. Goten runs to his mother and father and tries hugging them and helping them up, beginning to cry. He looks up at Gohan asking why he's doing this. It's at that moment, seeing his parents near death on the ground and his little brother about to cry, that Gohan knows what he's done. He begins walking toward Goten, but that's when he senses Buu. The repercussions of his actions had finally come to a head. He told Piccolo and Krillin to get them out of there, as he was going to do what he said he would do. Kill Majin Buu. And while this is super epic, unfortunately, it's not going to go too well for him. You see, Majin Gohan is weaker than Majin Vegeta was in canon, and Majin Vegeta couldn't beat Buu regularly or even with his sacrifice, so Gohan definitely isn't beating Buu. But he is still going to do the final explosion like Vegeta did, but with a different speech, obviously. He would say that he's sorry to his family, and that he let Earth down while trying to save it. And with that, he would self-destruct and atone for what he had done. Like I said, this isn't going to kill Buu, but it would be a pretty cool moment nonetheless. After recovering with Senzu Beans, Goku and Vegeta would send the kids to collect the Dragon Balls and would proceed to go stall Majin Buu. Chi-Chi does so as she feels responsible for doing this because of Gohan. She would cycle through all of her Super Saiyan forms and would end off with her Super Blazing Aura. She would still be weaker than Buu, but would give him more of a challenge than Gohan did. This is because she had adapted during the fight with Gohan and gained some more strength, but in the end she promises that she'll bring him someone stronger than anyone before if he just waits a few days. He reluctantly agrees, killing Babidi and letting Chi-Chi go. The group would summon Shenron and wish for everyone to be brought back to life. This does revive Gohan, and he reunites with his family. He asks why they brought him back, and they respond that they need him. They've got to fix this mess, and he would be valuable help. Plus, he can make up for it. Meanwhile, Kibito was also revived and rushed to go heal Shin and Vegeta. The three then go off to the Supreme Kai's planet, and Vegeta trains with the Z-Sword instead of Gohan. Back on the lookout, Goku, Chi-Chi, and Gohan all proceed to enter the time chamber, and they all go in at the same time, but it does lower the amount of time to train. Right now they're set for 2 days, which would only be 32 hours because, they've got an extra person there. This does allow them to get stronger though, since they've each got 2 sparring partners, all relative to each other. Of course, Majin Buu would eventually split apart after befriending Hercule and become Super Buu, which leads to him heading to the lookout early. And so Piccolo slowly retrieves the three from the time chamber and they step outside. Buu asks which one of them is going to fight him, but Chi-Chi says that all of them will. And so the battle now begins. Let me start this off by saying that in Super Saiyan 2, Gohan is the strongest of the three. But that said, none of them are nearly on the level of Super Buu. He's gonna slam them all with relative ease. But Chi-Chi stacking her blazing aura would allow her to begin affecting Buu, especially with Goku and Gohan backing her up. But these small bursts of hope weren't much since Buu could just regenerate any damage they deal. He beats the family down and Piccolo tosses them each a Senzu Bean. At this point, the three all use a family Kamehameha, and Buu fires his own Kamehameha, but it's just not enough. Buu gets overpowered once Chi-Chi unleashes her absolute full power with the Super Blazing Aura. Buu seems to be killed by the attack, but unfortunately he simply returns by regenerating. They won that clash, but it wasn't so strong to completely atomize him. This left the three without hope, and that's when Vegeta arrives. And during his Z-Sword training, he had broken the Z-Sword, and released the Elder Kai who, gave him the unlock. Of course, this process of getting his potential unlocked was very annoying and tedious to sit through, but he just did image training the whole time to keep himself at bay. But now that he was here, he was gonna beat Buu up as revenge for beating him before. Vegeta wouldn't give him the chance to escape since he was stronger than Ultimate Gohan, and he doesn't know about Buu's absorption. So no argument that he'd let him do that either. He instead eliminates him with a Big Bang attack, and if that doesn't take him out, a Final Flash as he's regenerating would. After all that, Goku would then use the Dragon Balls to bring everyone on Earth back to life, and Gohan would finish school, with an apology to Videl for being rude to her all that time ago. He asks her if she wants to go out sometime, and she accepts, and that ends the Buu saga, which also concludes this video, so if you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know in the comments and also subscribe to the channel to see when the next part drops. But as always, tell me if you liked this part, tell me what you think will happen next, comment your requests for future videos, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.